Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning, back on the topic of the NFL today. Today, again, talking about the Cleveland Browns and whether or not Myles Garrett will win 2021-2022 Defensive Player of the Year. Right off the bat, before we get into anything, I want to address the fact that this is certainly a very realistic scenario. Whether or not I agree with that, whether he will or not, it doesn't matter. I definitely think that Myles Garrett winning Defensive Player of the Year this year is totally realistic. So before we get into the video, question of the day, and that is a simple one for you guys. Who do you think is going to win Defensive Player of the Year this year? Comment below and throughout the video, and at the end of the video, you'll hear my opinion. But let's get right into it. Will Myles Garrett win Defensive Player of the Year this year? Very realistic, but I think my answer is going to be no. I'll break this down for you throughout the video why I just don't think it'll be him, and I want to kind of get out of the way initially why I think that is the case. It really depends on one main thing, and that for me is going to be Jadeveon Clowney. My belief, despite basically what every season he's played in the NFL shows, the fact that he will not stay healthy. I think I've been over before in other videos that twice in his career he's had a full season, once 15 games and once all 16 with Houston. But I think in my mind, Jadeveon Clowney is going to have a good season where he stays healthy, and I think that a healthy Jadeveon Clowney is a talented football player. In my mind, he makes plays, and like I said, a big Texans fan, and watching him with Houston, I was impressed with the way he played football, forced turnovers, and just got in the backfield and made plays. So I think Jadeveon Clowney is going to be healthy and have a good season, and that's one of the main reasons why I don't think Myles Garrett's going to win Defensive Player of the Year this year. With Jadeveon Clowney healthy, again, a lot depends on how he's going to play, but in my mind, he's healthy. And then in my mind, a healthy Jadeveon Clowney is worth 6-8 sacks there, and there's just no way if you have one guy on the team and getting 6 or 8 sacks like I think Clowney will get, that you can have Myles Garrett on the other end of the line with 10, 12 sacks, whatever it's going to take to win Defensive Player of the Year. I just don't think both can happen. And I think Jadeveon Clowney is going to have a good season, which by no means, I still think Myles Garrett is going to have a great season, for sure. I think he's going to be good I think my number for Myles Garrett is 10, 10 and a half, 11 sacks, somewhere in that ballpark, which with guys in the league like the Bosa brothers and like Aaron Donald and like TJ Watt, that's not going to be enough to win it. So yes, I think Myles Garrett has a great year, but I don't quite think that he's going to do what it takes to win Defensive Player of the Year. If you look right now at the betting odds of who's going to win it in this order, it's going to be Aaron Donald is the most likely, Myles Garrett second likely, and then TJ Watt's third, and then Nick Bosa's fourth, Joey Bosa's 5. So those are the top 5 betting-wise in the odds. So I think that's a realistic list, and I think Myles Garrett belongs in the 2 spot, one, because he's just that good of a ball player. Despite what I just said about the fact that no matter how good he's going to be, I think the fact Clowney's going to be healthy, he'll be getting some of the sacks, and they both can't have that good of a season. In the other total end of the spectrum is realistically, Jadeveon Clowney's not going to have a great year. He's not going to stay healthy, and a lot of the pressure is going to be on Myles Garrett to do a lot of defensive work. They let go of Sheldon Richardson, so or they got rid of him. So I do think that him in the 2 spot in the betting odds is very realistic. And if you think Myles Garrett's going to win Defensive Player of the Year, I won't spend a whole lot of time arguing with you because that's very realistic. So he's got the talent, he's got the potential, but in my opinion, Jadeveon Clowney is going to have the season that's going to be good enough to take some of the plays away from Myles Garrett, if you will, not in a bad way, but I just think that they're going to be sharing the limelight there in the backfield, or getting into the backfield. So I just don't think Myles Garrett will have enough to his name this coming season to win Defensive Player of the Year. So that kind of leaves the conversation of who's it going to be. In my mind, again, of those top 5 listed, Aaron Donald, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, Nick Bosa, Joey Bosa, all those are fair picks. I think, well, let's just go down the list. So in the 1 spot, Aaron Donald, he's won Defensive Player of the Year 3 times in his career, 2017, 18, and then 2020. In those years, he's put up 11 sacks, which, looking at Myles Garrett's numbers in the last couple seasons, he's put up 10, 12, 13 and a half. So those are his top 3 seasons-wise. So if you look at that, Myles Garrett in 2017, Aaron Donald in 2017 won it with 11 sacks. And like I said, Myles Garrett's broken 11 sacks twice in his career, so who's to say he can't do that? And again, if you want to argue for Myles Garrett, I'm all for listening, because the one thing that makes me say no, he's not going to win is Jadeveon Clowney being healthy, which definitely realistic that he gets hurt. So again, Myles Garrett's gotten the numbers. Like I said, he's posted 13.5 sacks before, which is plenty to win Defensive Player of the Year if you look at the last couple years' winners. But Aaron Donald in the one spot, if you look at the betting odds, he's got a 20.5 sack season in 2018, which is insane, especially considering that the record of single sacks in a season is 22.5. Michael Strahan, I believe, did that. But 13.5 was when he won it in 2020. So Aaron Donald's consistently posting, at least over these years, 11 sacks or more, which Myles Garrett has done. Again, or at least has done for seasons in his career. He's got 2 seasons over 11 at 12 and 13.5. So that's how you can compare Myles Garrett and Aaron Donald. Looking at TJ Watt sacks, TJ Watt's career highs go in order: 13 sacks he's got one year, 14.5 the next, and 15. So TJ Watt has put up great numbers in his career. The Steelers lost a couple guys on defense, so a lot of the pressure is going to be on TJ Watt, but the Steelers are just kind of falling off there, and I think right now they're the third best team in the AFC North. So something about them, just TJ Watt's a great player, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think he's going to be able to do it. But he has posted 14.5, 15 sack seasons, especially last year he put up 15. I think he deserved it last year more than Aaron Donald, but that's another topic. And then Nick Bosa, injured last year, was a big reason why they were in the Super Bowl in 2019, but not enough for me to say he's going to win it this year, especially with the injury last year, but he could have a great bounce-back season with that 49ers defense. Joey Bosa's had great career so far, 11.5 sacks again, 12.5. New coach in Brandon Staley could be great, so Joey Bosa's definitely on the radar, but I'm not gonna put any money on him. He's also battling a minor injury last year, caused him to miss a few games. So those are the big men up front that I think are on the table for it. Then you look at defensive backs. Why not consider Stephan Gilmore again, who won it in 2019? He had 6 interceptions that year and 20-something, I think 20 on the dot passes defended. So he had a great season. Jalen Ramsey, I guess, is worth mentioning. He's a great defensive back, great cornerback. Xavier Howard, if he has another 10, if he breaks 10 interceptions again, could definitely be in the conversation. So those are a couple DBs that I think are worth mentioning, but not gonna be my bet for me. I'm not gonna put money on them. And one more guy that might be laughable to mention, but I want to bring up J.J. Watt. I'm a big J.J. fan. I'm a big Texans fan, and I obviously he's not with Houston anymore, but I can't help but like the guy. And no, he's not going to have one of his seasons from 2012 or whatever. He's got 3 Defensive Player of the Years in his career, but J.J. Watt is not going to be my guy this year, but I just wanted to mention it because he's had great seasons in the past. But back to the main topic. If not Myles Garrett, again, will Myles Garrett win Defensive Player of the Year? If I had to say something, I would have to say no. Again, to recap what I said earlier, it's because I think Jadeveon Clowney will be healthy and have a good year. And when you have a healthy Jadeveon Clowney, who I think is going to pick up 6 or 8 sacks, I don't think Myles Garrett will be able to pick up the 12 or 13. I think he's going to need to win Defensive Player of the Year. So who is my pick? I'm going to go Aaron Donald. I have a few reasons why. One, because he's Aaron Donald and he's that dominant. But to further that argument is he's got a couple of things that are going to motivate him. One is he's not happy how the season ended last year in Green Bay. He had a little bit of a rim injury that kind of kept him from being 100% in that last game where they fell short to the Packers. And a couple other motivators. Cam Akers is hurt, so they're going to miss a big part of the run game. And they lose a good safety in John Johnson. And they have a new quarterback in Matthew Stafford, which despite, yes, he's got great talent, he's going to need some help. So Aaron Donald's going to have a couple things motivating him to be absolutely as good as he can be. And when Aaron Donald's at the top of his game, we've seen what he can do. 20.5 sack season in 2018, which is what he's capable of. So my pick's going to be Aaron Donald. And again, not Myles Garrett, even though Myles Garrett is undeniably a great football player. And I think he's going to definitely post a solid 10, maybe 11 sack season at the most. But Jadeveon Clowney is going to steal some of those sacks because he's going to be healthy. That's my opinion. Guys, comment below what you think about my take. And comment below the answer to the question of the day, who you guys think is going to win Defensive Player of the Year this year. My vote is Aaron Donald. That's all for the video, guys. Thanks for watching. 2-minute warning.